Good evening and welcome to another episode of CUBED, the Marvel Snap podcast. Welcome everybody tonight. And, as always, I have to everybody's left, Bok Choy, aka Dakota. Can we get some clappies from you, Dakota? I know you know how to do that.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. And to
Yeah, he does.
everybody's right, we got DarkHelmit, aka Donald.
Quack.
So we get a
Donald
quack. So how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Glad to be here with you guys. Hopefully, I don't crap out on my computer again.
Yeah. So hopefully, we do have a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully we don't get to that point where you do crap out, but if you do, everybody know ahead of time, you just roll with the technical difficulties. So, yeah, actually let's get started because like I said, we do have quite a few things that we want to discuss each one of us. I know Don's going to be kind of going into this blind, but we'll start with something easy, something we always do. We'll talk about Phastos. Phastos is the new card this week. I didn't get him. How about you guys?
Nope, I didn't get him yet. Only got 2 keys, and it's just hard because it's like there's a lot of cool things this card looks like it can do,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, am I ever gonna play this style? I don't think so. So I'm like, I kind of want to hold off with the Deadpool season coming up.
How about you, Don?
Man, honestly, I am disappointed in both of you right now. You know,
He's like, I bought it with tokens.
you guys we're leading the way, being these whales out there, just getting all the cards and all the keys and all the variants, and here I am, holding it down, staying, collection complete. Uh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. I'm taking a page from your book to try and become a purple. I was like a purpose. A
A purpose.
purpose. Yeah, I don't know. The more cards come out, the more it takes to some of this. I'm rubbing my fingers. Water, more water it
Yeah.
takes to afford this stuff. So it's like I don't want to do it too often because some cards aren't worth it. And I don't know if Phastos is going to be one of those cards that are worth it. I didn't get Makari. I know, Don, you pulled it with one. Dakota, did you get it?
No,
Okay.
I didn't pull.
Yeah, so Dakota didn't pull either. I'm, it's time to make decisions instead of being like collection complete, quotes. I don't mind not being collection complete anymore if it means giving up some of these bad cards that shouldn't be 6,000 tokens or more than
You know,
one key.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Just
disappointed, guys. You know.
It makes it worse. So let's go into Phastos. So his card details are he's a 3 cost, 3 power, and his on reveal effect is give each card in your deck -1 cost or +2 power. As the person that did get it this week, let's start with you, Don. How did you? I don't know if you got games with it yet or played against it. How do you feel about this card?
A little bit of both. I've seen it a couple times. I did fit it right into my surfer deck. It's fun. I think there's a couple of ways you can go with this. I think you can go with either the surfer side, or you could actually fit it into a nice little zoo deck. I honestly think it works pretty well with like the Gilgamesh card, right? So you're either getting reduced cost or increased power. Like it's giving you a chance to kind of play that out. So either way you want to go with that, obviously it's a 3 power, 3 cost. Fits really well into a Silver Surfer deck. You know, you have to kind of figure out, hey, what do I want to pull out? What do I want to add in?
Mhm.
I've actually been messing around with Macari, just because I have nothing better to do and I need to finish those missions. I'm thinking this week this is pretty much going to replace that card, and we're just going to see how it goes. Do those extra couple of missions this weekend, and like I said, it took me 3 keys to do it, but at the end of the day, I like being complete, collection complete. I don't know how next week's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to get that one, but we'll see what happens.
So next week is
Erisham.
Erisham.
There's
Okay. So yeah, I believe with this card it works well with Erisham. But what are your thoughts on this card, and why did you decide to skip it as well, Dakota?
Um, it just kind of comes down to the style of play. I don't really see this going into any of the decks that I'm running currently. Granted, the meta will change as cards change with the meta, right? So it's like I can see the card reduction being, or the cost reduction being, a very beneficial thing to have. This looks like a good tech card. The only reason why I'm not pulling the trigger is because I saved up my credits during this time I was out in New York, and when I was sitting in the airport, I had over 10,000 because the last like mission I collected put me over that, and that only got me two keys. And me being able to do that again is going to take some time. The only reason I got there is because I skipped Macari, and it's just this card is not gonna make it or break it for me. It's not something that I'm like, if I don't have this card, there's no way I'm gonna be able to climb. I just don't see that happening. I could be completely wrong. It looks like it has cool chances to change
Ask
up,
me
and it looks
about
like it could
my
be a fun
winner.
card.
Codes
But as
just
far as being
followed.
the most competitive, I don't know. I think that it's gonna be a little clunky. And unless you're doing, it's like Don was mentioning, he's doing stuff with Surfer. I just don't really much care for the Surfer builds. I'm kind of over Surfer personally. Um, I do think that this card would be cool to run Thanos. Might be pretty fun on the stones, which is the one reason why I am looking at it and debating. But I'm trying to be strong here because I don't see dropping my keys for this card
Ye-
unless something changes like throughout the week. And I guess I'm like, okay, the meta is killing me. I need this card now.
yeah.
I mean, okay, so I believe this card is a good card. Um, like Dakota mentioned, I don't think it's make or break on anything. It does help. But if you think about it, you use it turn 3. If you're not playing Magic, you only has his effect. You only have his effect for 3 turns, right? So, and you don't know exactly what it's going to do to the next 3 cards you draw. So you don't know if it's going to be -1 cost or +2 power. So it's kind of a worse Sarah in some ways, because Sarah, when you play her on 5, I know you only have 1 turn to play her typically, but you already know what you have in your hand if you want to play Sarah, right? So you have that knowledge behind it. Now with Phastos, you're very limited, because at turn 3 you have 6 cards left in your deck, if I'm not mistaken. Did I do that math right? 6 or 5, something like that. Let's just say 6-ish. So that's like half your deck that you still have to draw. Which, I mean, with the deck tracker, it makes it more. If there was one for mobile, it would make it more feasible to be like, okay, I know what I have in my deck. Um, these are the possibilities. Now, without a deck tracker, you have to either write something down or be very good at memorization, which, you know, I don't have the time to do. Like, a game is 5 minutes. I'm not going to write down every little thing for a 5-minute game, right?
Mhm.
It's not a tournament. So, I don't know. It's a card that I feel is would be good at a 2 cost. What do you guys think?
I agree on that one.
We have so many 3 costs. You mentioned
Huh.
this earlier. That we're getting a lot of surfer related cards.
Everything is Surfer. They're all 3 costs. What the heck? It's so crazy.
I mean,
But I
Thena
think the
wasn't,
idea is
Gilgamesh wasn't.
to get a couple more cards that you can actually use in that deck, right?
Hmm.
Where you know the surfer style has actually been pretty stale for a while, right?
Hmm.
So the fact that getting a couple of tech cards that you can fit into it is actually kind of nice, in my opinion. Do I think? Yeah, do I think these are going to be make or break? No, um, but at the end of the day, I think. I mean, how many of your season cards actually are make or break cards, right? I mean, just looking at back at the last couple of seasons, um, there's a ton of cards in there. You're just like, I really don't need that to get the meta going.
Yeah, that's very true. I think the more meta defining ones were like Red Hulk, White Widow, uh, Red
Same.
Guardian. So I mean, last season there's like 3 out of the 5 that were pretty not meta defining, but if you didn't have them, you felt kind of behind, right?
Yeah.
Especially because White Widow is such a polarizing card early game. Late game, you could get past the effect. But early game, if they threw that in throne room, or if they threw that in the location where you draw 2 cards if you're winning, the lane. I forgot what that one's called. Yeah, so
Wild
it's a
card.
very polarizing card that helps you so much in the early game. Late game, like I said, it actually works well with some decks like running Elsa because like, oh, you gave me another card that will be 0, but I get the Elsa effect on it, right? So
Mhm.
especially with what was his name during that season, it was Professor X Cannonball, right? So during that meta, it was very um, useful. Now the cards this season, Thena, Gilgamesh, Makari, Phastos, and Erisham, it seems like fun. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with fun, but I think in Infinite, like when you reach Infinite, you play for fun.
Yeah.
So with the season coming to an end, like Airsham next week, right after Airsham, and the week after, we're gonna be tossed down into the dungeon again, right? And we're gonna have to be climbing. Um, I don't see many of these cards besides maybe Thena, maybe Gilgamesh. I don't know. I don't know if Zoo stays around, right? Because uh, if Kyera isn't in the deck list, Killmonger's around. So I don't know. I feel like probably 1 to 2 of the cards released this season would probably be used in the climb. How do you guys feel about the cards this season?
I mean, I think you're right. Like, there hasn't been a card there that has just like stuck out as like, hey, I have to have this to build a deck, right? Athena is it's a good card, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of one of those nice cards where you're like, oh, if I play 2 cards, she goes up in power. It's kind of one of those additional add extra little power for not doing a whole lot in the first place. Um, but at the same time, is I've played some decks that she's worked in, but nothing that I'm like, man, I know I'm for sure playing that deck, at the beginning of next season. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know. But in fairness, I'm not even 100% sure what I'm gonna play next season because whether it's, any of the cards that we've gotten over the past year. So, but that's a 2 week me problem.
Yeah.
That's not a this week me problem.
How about yourself, Dakota? How do you feel about the cards being released?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that Athena is one that is gonna carry on just because the Kitty, Angela, Athena builds. that's such a early smack. Like you're able to just build that up so fast that if you're not paying attention to it, you're gonna lose whatever lane that is. Like that you don't have many answers to that once you get cooking on it. So that's one that's gonna stay. Gilgamesh, I think, will die off as soon as the new season starts because Deadpool season is going to be very heavy, I'm sure, with Destroy. Everyone's going to be wanting to play him, I'm guessing, and that means Killmonger's waking up, which is really going to put a damper on any zoo builds. I mean, yeah, you could probably do some other stuff, but I just think that he works best in zoo, so I'd be kind of surprised if he sticks around. Phastos is going to probably be in that same build. I don't really see how well he's going to fall into this new season pulling in. I mean, granted, -1 on Deadpool would be pretty nice. You got a 0 rocking with everything, cool. But Destroy is already such a solid play line. Like you have everything you need already. I don't really see taking anything out to put him in. So
Have you played Destroy at all this season? Either one of you?
I have, yeah.
No.
No. Now, what type of Destroy?
Just the Goth Mommy Destroy that we built a while ago.
Okay,
The
so just the
classic.
generalized one. How well has it been doing? Because I know a lot of the Gilgamesh decks do run Kyera. I know it's one card out of the 12. You don't know if they drew it or not, but that does put a damper on, Killmonger. So
Yeah.
how has Destroy fared for you during this season?
It hasn't been bad. I
Mm.
mean, there's only been maybe I'd say if I was to put like say out of the 20 games I played, I think I ran into a Gilgamesh deck twice that had Kyra. Most of the time they didn't get if they had it, they didn't get it. And it was they were treated before turn 5. So I
Oh,
didn't even get like it was you could see where they were going with it and
yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
okay, this is not gonna happen. I gotta bounce. And yeah, I mean, once you build up with that destroy deck, it's really hard to stop. Like it is a solid play line deck.
Hmm.
So yeah, I always have fun with destroy. Destroy is one of my all-time favorites just because I love Venom so much. Like that card, just to play that card is like my favorite.
Yeah, I think right now I'm at the point where I don't know what I want to play, right? Because I was one of those, we all reached infinite this season using the Cannonball, Professor X kind of combo.
Yeah.
And I feel like they completely killed it. It would be nice if they didn't completely kill it and just make a play around. But because that's gone, I kind of that was kind of my play style, right? Like lockdown. But it's hard to do a lockdown now that cannonball. You can't really if you cannonball something, it could go into that lockdown lane. Professor X doesn't really stop it anymore. So I mean, and there's other type of lockdowns, but there's ways around it with Jeff, with Nocturne being relevant right now. A lot of that stuff that is relevant can't really have a lock, goes great against lockdown decks. So I'm kind of in a limbo. So, I'm just trying to find what I want to start ramping up next season with because I think Airstream's going to be fun. I do really want to see what people come up with Airshim, and I believe people are saying Phastos will work well with Airshim. But I don't believe it's going to be a competitive deck because it's going to be a lot of random.
Mm-hmm.
So, just really quick, what are your thoughts on Airshim coming out next week? Let's start with you, Dakota.
So this is the thing. I really want to hold out to play it. Just I think I might drop keys for it just because I like that it's chaos. Like you just mentioned, it's not going to be competitive. Like this, it's funny because I'm such a hypocrite. I'm like, well, I don't want to get fast sales. It's not going to be something that's game breaking. It's not going to be good. And I'm over here like Airshim. I want him because it's just going to be so random. And I want to be a part of that. I think that's going to be fun. Like it's just going to be pure chaos. and I enjoy that when there's no negatives. Being an infinite, I'm not scared to play this style because it's like if I lose, who cares, you know? But I wouldn't want to play this if I'm climbing the ladder. I'd be freaking terrified. Like, no, I don't want to play this style. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to look at it in the light of like if it was competitive, I would say do not get this card. It's too risky, man. It's just like how Pixie can be just like your worst enemy sometimes, or just like how Cersei can kill you. It's got more negatives than positives, and I don't see this card being great in the long run, but it sure looks like it's gonna be fun.
Mhm. Eh, I think that's something I'm missing right now is the fun concept of things. I do have fun playing other decks, but it's the consistency is what kind of kills my vibe. You know,
Yeah.
I'd love to play a consistent deck. Like, yeah, I might not win all the time, but the deck is consistent, right? You know how it operates, it works well together. And right now, I'm not really finding it, or maybe I'm just getting very bad algorithms when I play. But you know, I'm looking for something consistent, and I'm taking time, and I'm losing a lot of cubes just to try and find it. You know. But how about yourself, Don? How do you feel about Airshim coming out next week?
Let's be honest. What's the most important thing about having a deck, right? It's cube management, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know when to snap, you know when to retreat, you know what cards are your win conditions. Like Airshim is one of those decks that you're not going to know any of that. So at best, you're not going to be like, do I snap? Do I not snap? Do I try to take those cubes? Do I not? Like even for the funness factor, right? It's literally like when you go out and you try to run the Gambit destroy all their cards deck, right? It is
Yeah.
literally 100% for shits and giggles, and I, if I have the cubes, I'm not gonna, or if I have the things, I might pull for it because I try to pull at least once because I've been extremely lucky, you know,
Oh yeah, for
as
the
far as
past
that
like
goes.
month or something. I think
And
this week was your unlucky
I
week.
gotta keep. I got to keep that, complete level for you guys. Someone has to be right.
Yeah, we got to live vicariously through you. But
It's my time to shine.
I just want to shout out Disco Weasel. He says, as a casual player, I like the challenge of the introduction of new cards and locations. But the most fun I have is weirdly pull one decks. Devil Dinosaur deck, Kazoo decks, etc. And that's what's cool about, Gilgamesh coming out, right? It brought back zoo decks. And those were the decks that we played even through pool 2, like we were just like, oh, just beware of Killmonger because he's released in pool 2. And I had a lot of fun there. Devil Dinosaur decks, definitely. I know there's a Devil Dinosaur Loki deck, which is really fun to play with because Loki in general is really fun because you don't know what you're going to get from your opponent. Like, depending on, like, if you have a full hand, you have 7 cards. I mean, well, 6 cards at most of the times. You're getting half your opponent's deck. So it's really cool to have that variety. But I think they've fallen off ever since the introduction of these new cards. So they are fun to play. I can't wait to see Airshim decks. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but we'll see if they release some bundles with credits. Because without credits, I can't get keys, and I don't want to buy straight up credits. That's not the way. I'm a
Mm.
sucker for a good bundle. So the next thing I want to go into is I want us to look over the roadmap that Second Dinner has come out. This starts from September 2022, and then it's going to go to the most recent one, which was June 2024. And I just want this one is actually marked up by somebody that was like, okay, yeah, they did implement this. Hey, where's this, we'll go over, what the signs mean. But I'm going to go ahead and pop up right here. So this is September 2022. We have right here where it says coming soon. We got all these, which is the global mobile launch, which of course we got. PC early access, localization, time 13, welcome bundle, reward delivery, inbox system, variant rarity system. Great, right? Then we get in development an unranked mode. So this is ever since September 2022. They were supposed to make an unranked mode. I don't know if that was supposed to be Conquest, but what do you guys think about them not releasing an unranked mode right now? Let's start with you, Don.
As far as I'm concerned, Infinite is unranked mode because it doesn't matter if you are 10 or 10,000 or 100,000. You don't get anything for it. So, but you got to get there. No, no, I think this would actually be a fun thing to do. Looking at it right now, basically Proving Grounds is your unranked mode because you go in, you both snap first turn, you 8 cube, hopefully you leave after that. But it'd be nice to have somewhere you can test these things out and not be like, oh, this jerk's gonna take me 2 or 3 rounds just because they're not playing Proving Grounds the way you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you feel like this is forgivable? They haven't released an unranked mode yet. Do you feel that's forgivable?
Yeah, I don't have much of an issue with it.
Okay.
Like I said, if you really just want to mess around and you want to do something that's not super serious, I mean, let's be honest, like for the most part, anything under gold in the
Conquest.
oh no, it just
Conquest.
escaped me. In the conquest,
Yeah.
it is fairly low risk, low reward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's how I feel. So I don't really have a problem that we don't have this in the game right now.
Okay, and I agree with what you said. It is a low risk, high reward, just because they give gold tickets in caches. I'm still not a fan of that, and that is why you don't actually need to battle through Proving Grounds through silver to get a gold ticket. So when you get these gold tickets for free, I feel like it kind of undersells the first two areas of Conquest. But how about yourself, Dakota? How do you feel about them not releasing an unranked mode?
I'm really on the same page with Dom with this. I feel like the Proving Grounds, in a way, is the unranked mode because if you really look at it in the perspective, if you win, you get 15 coins or tokens or whatever to use it in the shop. If you
Mm-hmm.
lose, nothing happens to you. You just, okay, you lost.
Yeah.
So in a way that for sure is unranked. It's not the same exact play style as you would go for, for cubes, but that's fine because if it's unranked, you're not going for cubes anyways. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. I think that the conquest idea, they molded unranked into it. And I'm cool with that. I got no problem with it. But I get so annoyed when people don't honor the code, man. Come on. You snap right up the rip. If you're making me fight you at 4 and 4 and 2, like screw you, man. You need to be better. There's no honor amongst thieves, baby. Get better than this. This is bullshit.
All right. So let's move on to the in concept that they had in September 2022. So it looks like they had. Oh, well, let me just go over the rest of the in development. So the battle mode with friends, we got collector's tokens, PC widescreen, user interface, and titles. At the time in concept was new competitive modes, which we did get. I guess Conquest is that new competitive mode. Guilds and social systems. I believe next season is when they're going to start it. The update today was for that to be downloaded. So make sure you guys update your games. In-game events, they have been doing that more recently, which is really cool. Infinity rank leaderboard, we did get that. There's like a top 5,000 in online. Collectible emotes and card emojis, we are getting those. We do have these emojis that you can purchase, and mythic variants. Don't know what that means, but Don, start us off on some of this. Do you have anything to add on, like, because right here it says the guilds and social systems and the collectible emotes and card emojis. Do you feel they've done their job?
Right now I'm taking applications for the Cubed Guild. Just throwing it out there. Just a very exclusive guild that we will be forming for only the most highly ranked porpoises out there. Um, I'm kidding. It's gonna be a mess. So as far as that goes, it'll be fun. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what this actually means. Like, okay, what does having a guild in this game mean? Is it going to be a, guild versus guild, 3 versus 3, 5 versus 5, group play, whoever wins gets, I don't know, bragging rights? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. How about yourself, Dakota? How do you feel about all this, the guilds and the emotes and stuff that they have been coming out with? Are you laughing because he's stuck?
Yes. It's just such a
Always.
stoic.
No, he's not stuck. He's a very good ventriloquist.
I was gonna say, yo, who's got that
I've
hand
been-
up you right now, dog? They're killing it.
Whoa. There ain't no hands up anywhere, brother.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so going off of, again, just piggybacking, like it's new competitive modes, all that stuff. We don't really have any new competitive modes outside of Conquest. So we're going off of just that. There's
Yeah.
not really much to go with. We're all in speculation on still if we're doing, now they're calling them alliances and stuff. Supposedly that's about to begin, so that's cool. There's a train wreck in Europe from what I've been hearing, but I didn't really follow it too intently. I just been like seeing on comments from just people going off on it. So it's been interesting to watch. The rank still, to me, needs to be revamped. Granted, yeah, okay, we see a leaderboard. You should be getting something if you're at a certain rank.
You
What's the
think so?
point in fighting and getting to that level if you're not getting any perks for it,
Well,
I think that should be something.
I do want to say that when you fight up there in the ladder, I think the reward is getting more competitive games, right? Because Conquest, you don't know what kind of level you're going to play. But if you're in the higher brackets of the leaderboard, then you get more competitive games. And those are, it seems like that makes it easier to do. Like, okay, what if I wanted to play this in a tournament? Can I, you could just queue up onto the, onto the ladder and then try things out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, because if they make it so there's rewards for like top players, right, in the leaderboard, then it kind of leaves a bad taste in everybody else's mouth. People that don't make it, right? People that play the game for fun. They're like, oh, well, it's, especially if it's say they give like a variant, right? A good variant. It makes it feel like a slab, like, oh, that's the only way I can get that variant. Now, if they did this, I wouldn't mind them doing like, oh, you get 2 free premium mystery variants, right? At least it's random. And these mystery variants can be obtained by everybody else. It's not too bad. It's not like an ultimate and then people are like, oh my god, they get a free ultimate. You
That would
know,
be insane.
it would be.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing, and it would be something for people to strive for. But I could see a lot of people getting salty about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So.
yeah. This community can go from being like, this game's great to like, fuck this game. They just get all mad. Where's Dormammu?
Everyone gets a free pixel.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like imagine get a free pixel, because that means one less you don't pull from your caches. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to let's see. This one's December 2022. I'm just gonna read over these really quickly to speed everything up. So the coming soon at that time was Battle Mode versus Friends, name change, artist credits. I think we could change our names every I believe like every month.
Like a month or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So Russian and Vietnamese language support, Infinity Split mod details. I don't know what that means. In development, PC widescreen UI, smart decks. I think smart decks is the auto deck,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Creator.
Okay. New competitive modes. So yeah, and still has the unranked mode. And then in concept, we have all those done. Booster magnets is something new. PC controller support. I know they mentioned that before. Season cache improvements. There's a check there, but I don't think they really improved it. Oh, sorry. I'm on the side here.
I was like,
So,
I'm taking your word
so
for it.
yeah, right here. This right here, the season cache improvements. I don't believe we got improvements. I mean,
No.
I feel like the system was better before in
Mhm.
some ways. In some ways. I do like how they make it easier for you to obtain variants, but they make it harder for you to get tokens, right? So it's a toss up. I don't know. And gold. Harder to get gold.
Gold's gone.
Let's see. So for me personally, I don't see why you would play controller with PC for a card game, but that's just me. So other than that, I am kind of interested in the booster magnets, which they've mentioned that you'd be able to choose what card you get boosters for, and that would help so much. Mythic variants, they still haven't mentioned what that is, but I'm interested to find out what that is. So let's start with you, Dakota. How do you feel about these quote unquote mythic variants, booster magnets, and PC controller support?
The controller support to me is, yeah, it doesn't bother me because I wouldn't be using it. The thing that does bother me though is, from my understanding, it still hasn't been implemented. To put things in concept, granted that just means it's what they're thinking about doing. I don't know. It's frustrating to have them even say we're thinking about doing this, and then they never follow through. Here we are now in 2024. I don't understand the variant thing. That's interesting. I am very much for them to actually get this implemented with the magnet, because I can't tell you how many times I have played decks hoping to get boosters for one specific card, and I never get those boosters. I don't know what the heck it is, but it goes to everybody else. Like when Nico came out, I was playing her. It took me and I played Destroy a lot, and I played that card a lot, and it took me probably 3 months to finally get a full split. Not kidding. Like, I could not get boosters for her. I tried it on Conquest, I tried it on the ladder, nothing was working. It was getting so annoying. And Wolverine, the same thing. In a Destroy deck, I never get boosters for Wolverine. Never. I don't know what the heck. So I'm for the magnet big time.
All right. How about yourself, Don?
Yeah, I think a magnet's nice. It would definitely make it easier to get those splits that you're looking for. I know right now, I'm trying to get a couple gold backs on a couple things to get a nice full gold deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a lot easier to do that instead of just hoping to get them. Um, Mythical variants. Hey, wasn't that checked off in one of the ones up above?
You know what? It was checked off in this one right here. Oops. That's our logo.
Oh God,
That's a mythic.
Yeah.
That's mythic,
this
man.
is my judgment.
So it was checked off in this one. I don't know why, because this one's older. So I don't know why they checked that one off when we haven't got mythic variants. Maybe were they called mythic variants before the ultimates, right? Or
Maybe that's what it is.
yeah,
I'm gonna do a little Google here.
okay. Well,
You know why they're mythic, right?
no.
Because they never existed. There's just stories about them over and over again.
They're myths. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to so that was December 2022. I'm gonna move on to March 2023. And so, same things here. Just gonna show it real quick. Things that they've added and implemented. I'm gonna focus more on the in concept things that haven't come out yet, which the guild social systems we talked about, seasonal audio, mythic variants comes back again. Collectibles, emotes, and card emojis. We're getting those. We have those. Now, the one that sticks out is this test deck mode. So I'm thinking this mode. Sorry, I'm still stuck on Dawn. I think this mode is supposed to be where you don't own the cards yet, and you're just testing them in game. Now, I've heard a lot of talk about this, saying like, "Oh, okay, this would give me a better reason behind purchasing the card, right? Either through using keys or using tokens. But I want to test the card out before I buy it. You don't. It's kind of like a car. You don't just buy a car straight up unless you test it first. So it's really, it'd be really beneficial. It maybe more people would purchase cards if they would be able to test it first. But how do you feel about that concept, Don?
You guys test your cars first?
Wait.
Sorry. I think this would be interesting. I think this would be a fun little play set. Because I think it really does. So there's so many times with cards like I don't know, like Nico, right? When Nico was first coming out, everyone was kind of like, "Ooh, I don't think this card's gonna be a very good card," and then all of a sudden it became the staple
Oh
in
yeah.
so many decks, especially the Goth Mommy deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Um, it would give you a chance to actually play around with, okay, how does this work? How does it work in so many different things? And you probably would, like, this week is a perfect example, right? Phastos. It's kind of like, hey, I don't know if I want to buy this. I don't know if I do. So this would work really, really well. Every time I see you laughing, my brain just goes,
It's because
nah.
you said
Phastos.
Phastos. I was like,
Close enough.
So how about yourself, Dakota? How do you feel? Like, do you think it's because looking at it now, this was back in March 2023. It is now June 2024. We don't have a test deck mode. How do you feel about not having it yet, but still getting other stuff before that's not even on this list yet?
It's getting frustrating. If you're not going to follow through with something, don't dangle the carrot. Okay, don't be telling them this is the kind of idea. You guys at this point, they should really understand what they're capable of doing and implementing, and not following through with what their roadmap is consistently. It's getting ridiculous, and this is starting to get to that point where like, okay, cool, we still don't know what the hell the mythic variants are.
Yeah.
They're not finishing this PC controller support, which should have been a pretty easy thing to do at this point.
I mean,
So
honestly, I would say like if you're gonna trash the PC controller support, just tell us, because
Yeah.
Who the frick plays controller on a card game? I
There
don't
might
know.
be like one dude that's out there just like, I just can't wait for me to just, like it's a crack up, man. Who's gonna be doing that? It's a mobile game to begin with. Your PC, no, I'm sorry. Like, just who thought that? That's one of those like drunken ideas they came up with. They were just tossing around. And they're like, what would be a good idea?
I will not stand here and have you bash me in my PC controller. You gentlemen are fiends. You know what? I'm just gonna stand here and
Stay very still.
staring contest. Go.
All right.
You
So
and me.
so the next one that we have here is the so we get PC launch. This is August 2023, right? We got the PC launch. Sorry, let me move it. We got the PC launch. We got Twitch drops were amazing. Card upgrade improvements, seasonal audios, conquest polish, infinite rank revamp, global matchmaking, phase 1. So we don't have full global matchmaking just yet, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we can't play somebody in the Philippines or in Korea, I think it's still separated. So in development, they have here prestige levels. I like how they checked off spotlight cash improvements because, whatever.
Wrong.
So this is interesting right here. Ultimate variant evolution. I know they mentioned this. They mentioned that if you purchased an ultimate, it would be different in a way than regular. And you could see here in concept, they have mythic variants. So it is different from ultimate variants. So it's very weird that they haven't mentioned anything about mythic variants. I don't know if those were supposed to be the spotlight variants, but I don't know. New game mode here. Let's see what else. The new infinite splits and split system improvements. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But
They don't even have whatever that is. So.
But I think the most polarizing things here are the prestige level. Like, I don't know what prestige level means. I mean, I know in Call of Duty, prestige meant you start from 1, right? But then you get like a badge that only you get if you start over from 1. But I don't know what that would mean in this. Why are you laughing?
Bro, Alex has been prestiging this whole time.
Sorry, if you guys don't know, we have a coworker that plays the game, and multiple times he restarted the games. One of the times was not his fault. He doesn't spend money on the game. He's a free to play player, which totally support. But he doesn't link anything to his account, so he changed phones. Of course, it didn't link, so he's like, well, I downloaded it and my information is not there. So he started from 1. But every time if the game gets too hard, he'll just restart. But yeah, that's he's been prestiging, man.
Like 3 times. He's cracked.
So I'm going to start with you, Dakota. Like, how do you feel about them not having this prestige level, mythic variants, and ultimate variant evolution?
Well, like I said, I'm getting frustrated at this point too. It's just watching them say, "Hey, we're gonna do this stuff," and then they don't do it over and over and over again. It's like, come on, And where's my PC controller support? Damn it! No, it doesn't make sense, man. If you're not capable of doing this, don't tell us. Don't get our hopes up. I'm sick of getting my dreams crushed over here. I want my ultimate Venom to evolve, damn it. Like, there's stuff it could do. I don't even know what the concepts are, but to have that be implemented, it would be great because this game is starting to get stale for a lot of players. I still love this game. I'm not really having the same issues as I read in the comments that most are, but to see them just continuously dangle the carrot and then just dip on us, it's getting annoying.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I agree with what you're saying. Like, stop dangling the carrot. I get it. Things change, right? If they're thinking of concepts and it goes past what they wanted to do before, and it's a new direction that they're going in, I believe they should take that direction if they think it's better for the game. But I think number one thing in any relationship is communication, right? Especially from people that are supporting you guys. Well, sorry, not you guys, but supporting Second Dinner, right? So if we play the game, I feel like, if you just give us, if you communicate with us and be like, oh, this is why we're going a different direction. This is why we're not doing this anymore. I apologize. We promise you guys this in concept, but we're not going to do that anymore. Let us know, because then we're just like, it just disappears from the in concept. It disappears from the in development, and we're just like, what happened to it? And then they add new things to the list, and we're just like, well, you act like people don't take screenshots, So it's like, we're not.
You never said that.
Yeah, we're not. People aren't dumb. They're just like, hey, just give us that information. Tell us why you're not doing it anymore. If you're not doing it, if you are still doing it, why did it leave the list? Give us that information. Oh, it got pushed down more because we're still working on it. Because of course, as game developers, I can't do what you guys do, but it's nice to know that if you communicate with us, then we know, okay, cool. It's just going to come later on down the road. But when it disappears from the list completely, that's when it looks kind of shady, and it looks like, oh, I'm going to give you something here. I'm going to, like you said, dangle the carrot and then, give you a radish, it's very weird how they do that. Now, how about yourself, Don? How do you feel about not having this prestige level, this ultimate variant evolution, and this mythic variants that have been mentioned here and quite a few times?
Well, since I still don't know what a mythic variant is,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't think Second Dinner knows what it is.
Like, it's kind of like this, this idea. It's a word that's on a piece of paper, but I have no clue. Since I've been proven wrong about the ultimate variant, stuff. Honestly, looking at some of this stuff, in my opinion, a lot of this stuff is really, really unimportant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these aren't the problems I'm seeing with the game that are really driving me to maybe want to spend less money on it.
Yeah.
I think the bigger issues, like, these are just like the extra little cuts to the bigger issues, right? They're not addressing some of the simple fact that, like, I mean, in order to keep cards and continue to get cards, like, you have to spend some serious money on this
Yeah.
game.
I agree.
And for a game that has prided itself on being like, oh, you don't have to spend any money on this game. I do, but for a a game that was basically built on that concept, I think that's like the bigger thing that's really like making people upset. And then you see these little things, these stupid things like, okay, a PC console, and you're not communicating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not giving that, like, it says extra little, like, cuts that just really start to get under your skin and really start to just bug the hell out of you. When obviously the deeper problem is something else.
Yeah, and I feel like with people, when it happens time and time again, they start to turn, it's an anthill, right? But you keep doing it, keep creating an anthill, then it becomes a molehill, right? And so people end up being, well, you didn't give us this, you didn't. They start listing things, and it's just like, well, it was it's something that they kind of caused for themselves, because if, like I said, if they were just vocal about things, people wouldn't get as heated in the moment, because they're like, okay, well, you're working on it. you've had a few hiccups, and who can deny that? I mean, everybody has hiccups at work, right? So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think even going from that roadmap, like we lost out on the what is it? Uh, the booster magnet that disappeared from the thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of weird. But we'll take a look at January 2024 here. Let me read them real quick. So coming soon, character mastery, uh, album improvements. We did get those. In-game events, selectable card effects, selectable borders, which is awesome. That was a big thing for everybody. New infinity splits. We did not get those just yet. Collectible reactions. We do have reactions. In development, Clans 1.0. Hopefully, we get those next month. Collectible borders. We do have those. Booster VATs. I think that's the magnets, if I'm not mistaken. More event types. In-game graveyard. We got that, which was amazing. In concept, new game mode, new game boards. Haven't got those yet, but that's only since January 2024, and then I think for game boards, it's basically just for aesthetics, so it doesn't change the game at all. Clan competitions, we don't even have clans yet. Ultimate variant evolution, new card mechanics. I think we've got new card mechanics, but the biggest thing here is character mastery, and ultimate. Oh, the new card mechanics. So character mastery supposedly was the more you upgrade, purchase the variants, purchase anything regarding one specific character, you would have this type of mastery of that character that if you like, say for me, like if I purchased everything Iron Man, I would have something to show that, oh, this guy really loves Iron Man, right?
Mm.
Or like, Dakota, like you like your Venom variant, the ultimate variant, and you upgraded it to the max, right? You would have something that shows, oh, he really loves Venom. Something like that. Like you purchase all the Venom symbiote variants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you do, and you would
Yeah.
have something to show for that. Now, I'm just gonna scroll up real quick. They don't have it there,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people, I just want to show you guys I'll show you guys the newest one real quick. It has Deadpool's Diner, which is coming out next month. Improved technical performance, which is a big thing because I know we're all talking about the lag of the game, right? We have to,
Woof.
yeah. So we have custom card improvements, which is great. Um, custom cards, really cool. You get to change the border. It gives you a little flavor of like who are you as a player. So that's cool. Alliances, leagues, I think those are the same things. New card mechanics, collectible infinity splits, draft mode. So that's the newest in concept thing. Card acquisition improvements. It's back on there, which is great. And alliances competition. So I want to go to you on this, Dakota. Uh, they mentioned that this character mastery, right? Now it's gone. How do you feel about stuff like that, especially when they introduced it in January? People were like, "Oh, cool. If you like a certain character, I'm gonna start buying everything for that character." And then, boom, June 2024, gone from the roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
I'm bummed. I'm pretty upset about it. It's frustrating. That was something I was really looking forward to. And again, the more that we dive into this podcast, we're starting to really watch as they promote things on their social media.
Mm-hmm.
The responses is something that I feel like if I was a creator, and we are technically now, you'd pay attention to what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And the reaction of Mastery was great. Everyone was like, "This is awesome! Can't wait for that." For it to disappear without any explanation or like, "Hey, we're working on this. It's taking long." I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a DJ, I know this is kind of random, but as a DJ, when you're running a wedding, for instance, if you're an MC and running a wedding, you gotta let the people know what's gonna happen here because they get restless, they get upset, and you don't want that. You
Yeah.
know, you want to make sure the guests know, hey, you know what? The bride and groom are going to take their pictures right now. It's golden hour, but we have games over here. You guys have, we got this for you. Enjoy your time. Soon we're going to be moving forward with the events. It's the same damn thing with this game where we can't just be saying like, okay, we're going to do this, and then it's gone, and that bothers everybody. Like
Yeah.
the amount of comments that rolled in on their page the day that they all discovered Mastery was gone. Yo, dude, there was all this, I'm deleting the game. This is trash. Like, I doubt everyone actually said that is going to follow through, but
Yeah.
that's a wake up call, in my opinion. You should see that and go, hey, maybe we should address this or fix this or stop saying we're going to do things and not do it.
All right. How about yourself, Don? How do you feel about something just disappearing from the roadmap without an explanation? Right. I think that's the biggest thing is they did it without an explanation. They never said, hey, it's still going to be there. Hey, just we just put it off to the side. It's actually even lower than in concept. So how do you feel about that, Don?
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a messaging issue, right?
Mm.
The simple fact that it's in coming soon is like really it should never have been in coming soon. It should always been in concept. Like if things disappear from in concept, I think that's kind of like, hey, we have this idea that we're trying to work on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in development, you're like, hey, we're actively working on getting this thing into the game. Coming soon, everything in coming soon should be implemented, right? You're
Yeah.
literally saying, hey, here it is, right? It's
Yeah.
about to be here. And for you to go, okay, well, not anymore. Goodbye. See you later. Not going to be a thing. And then just pretend that nothing happened. That's a messaging issue, right? You really need to make sure that like look, if it was in concept, right, and disappeared, you're like, okay, that concept just didn't play out right.
Yeah.
But it's literally like everyone's like, "Oh man, look, mastery! It's gonna be right here. It's man, I can't wait to get my Deadpool mastery, right? Or whatever your favorite character is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah, right. And it's funny because once people heard about this, because they did speak about it, I believe in one of like their monthly introduction videos, they're like, oh yeah, this is something that's gonna come soon, so get ready, right? So of course people got ready and started purchasing things that they wouldn't have purchased unless something came out of it. Because like how many variants of for myself, how many variants of Iron Man do I need? Like
All of
I only
them.
need the ultimate, right? Like realistically, everything else I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll get it when like if I luckily get it from a cash or if I get it from a a free premium mystery variant, right? But people started purchasing things like, okay, because I want this mastery, I want the, like you mentioned, Deadpool mastery, so I'll purchase all the variants. I'll purchase you know what is it, like any emoji that comes out as a Deadpool emote, right? I'll do all the Deadpool stuff. That way, when the masters come out, I'll be like the number one Deadpool guy.
Mhm.
So it's kind of interesting for them to do that, and then just be like, you go into the next concept, and it's just like nothing's on there. um. So, well, I mean, there's Deadpool's diner, so if you love Deadpool
Yay.
that much, he's getting his own diner. But they showed a lot of things. I know Dakota, you deal a lot with our social media, so I know you interact more with our followers, and I know they were having a hard time with this. They brought this up like, oh, we want to hear your thoughts on this. And starting with you, Dakota, what are your final thoughts on like roadmaps in general, and what can Second Dinner do to improve it?
I think that because they continuously are changing what they think is going to happen, like they'll say something and it doesn't happen, they're losing credibility incredibly fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lose that with your community, it's almost impossible to get it back at times. And I think that they really need to step up their game and follow through. They need to fix the issues that are they should not be happening anymore. We're not in beta. We're running this game, okay? This is no longer just like it talks, you know, we shouldn't be having lag like we're having. We shouldn't be having problems when Ultron plays that the game crashes or any of the token cards crash. Like there's issues here that at this point should not be there. And I think that their roadmaps, instead of going like, okay, look, obviously going off of what we've seen, they're not able to implement this stuff. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? You know, coding is a whole crazy world that I don't like myself. I can't, you know me and computers, I'm not the best with that. I've I've had my fair share, and I know how crazy that can be. So if they're biting too much off that they can actually chew, I would think it'd be incredibly humbling and awesome if they just came forward and like, guys, we're trying to fix this. We realize we got a little rambunctious. We do rambunctious out here, and this we're gonna fix this. Just give us some time. Try to actually come back to the community that is feeding them their money,
Yeah.
and say, hey, let's all try this again. And we're gonna let's fix this X, Y, and Z with the lag. We're gonna get this game running smooth again, and we'll go from there. And I would feel a lot better on that. I think that their credibility is shot, and they have some things to make up for on that side. I still love the game, but it is frustrating that it takes me forever to actually play it. And the new problem that we have right now is these cards effects are not actually even working on turn 6. You're having people that you know, my Cosmo's out, and then somehow Odin still goes off in the lane, which is absolutely insane. What's happening here?
Oh man, I haven't even come across that yet. So
Oh, it's
yeah, that
frustrating.
it's little coding stuff here and there where it's just like, you know, when you if you're releasing a card every week, you need to make sure it doesn't affect the entire game, right?
Yeah.
Like every week people are pumping in money just to get the new card, right? Oh, they want to be collection complete, like Mr. Don. but but it does take one, it takes luck, you know, luckiest guy on everybody's right here, but it takes money too. If you're not lucky, you know, I'm sure if you go through our posts in our Instagram, you'll see that I probably have the most 4 key things ever, you know. So like I'm very unlucky. So, you know, for someone that does that like me, I actually have to put in money if I want to get the new card, and I'm not willing to do that every time, you know. So that's why it's just like it's infuriating that little stuff like this, where it's just like, hey, this is promised, and but it just disappears. It's like, well, you know, I could probably get like 6,000 tokens for that or something.
Straight up, man. Just got a ticket.
I know, but I don't know. It's just like I mentioned before. Well, all kidding aside, like just communicate with your community, because your community wants to be in the know. I mean, if don't tell us like things that are even lower than in concept, right? Tell us about things that have already been stated and you have an update on it, right? If you have an update, let us know, oh, okay, sorry, it didn't work out, you know, because things happen. Like you mentioned before, coding, right? Oh, we thought we could do it, you know, we don't have the staff to do it. Because we know that they're going through something. They're cutting ties with Newverse, supposedly. I don't know. Newverse is still there. But Yeah,
That's another thing that they don't got right.
I
We're gonna
mean,
be doing a new verse. They have new verse.
yeah, I don't know. So it's funny because it's like, oh, I thought New Verse was gonna be gone by now, but if not, then that's totally fine. It's just like I said, communicate with your community. Now, how about yourself, Don? Any final words on like how Second Dinner should handle things?
Yeah, it seems like they really need to make it so Helen Keller isn't drawing this roadmap, you know, because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, here's a concept, and that should be down the road somewhere, and then you should have in development, which should be right there, but then you got like mastery just like pops up next to you, and then it's gone, and you're like, wait, I wanted to make that turn, but you know what, it's not there. Like really what they need to do, just like you were saying, is consistent, right? You should see what's in develop, what is a concept, then it should move to the development. It should be there coming soon, and then here's a crazy idea: it should be in the game, right? That's how that should work. And again, if for some reason something doesn't work in there, just let us know. Hey, the coding on this was, or like we just couldn't get this concept, or we felt like it was gonna break this aspect of the game. Like there's those little things, but honestly, just taking your concept ideas and in development and throwing them at a dartboard and be like, I guess it's there now. Um, they need to do better. And as far as the communication part and the messaging part, and just the keeping up with people and not being like, well, there's a thing you wanted and it's gone.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
And that's I also want to give credit where credit's due. Second Dinner has done an amazing job with all the other stuff that they've implemented, right? I mean, yeah, there are some downsides to it, but having things be unique to a player, like the borders, like the splits, right? They've done an amazing job on that, and you know, these criticisms come from people that want to continue to play the game. It's not like, oh, these are the reasons why I'm leaving the game, right? No, these are reasons why I think you should act like your community means something to you. Like uh, just doing things or getting rid of things and not talking to your community. It's like it makes us feel like they don't care. And in relationships, you have to have that, right? You got to have that confirmation. It's like, show us you care, right? And it's not just like, oh, give us free stuff. I could, yeah, give me free stuff if you want to, but I'd rather you just tell me what's going on, right? So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if we're too late on this. Maybe they came out with something already, but nothing that I've heard. So we'll leave it at that. Before we, so the next thing, I know you wanted to talk about acquisition, right, Dakota? Or keys, or what were you talking about?
Oh yeah, I wanted to bring up an idea.
Okay.
Would you guys pick your brain for a second about the seasons? So we all pay for the $10. We get the season going. I'm thinking in the caches that there should be some keys.
Wait, in
Or
the, like, what caches?
in the caches that we go through in like 0 to 50. Within that,
Oh.
I'm thinking there should be some keys in there, man. I don't know about you guys. Just wanted to hear your thoughts.
So, okay. So I know Don mentioned this earlier where, they pride themselves on a free to play game, right? That you are able to play the game for free completely. It'll just take a while, right? Now, I know we talked about this before. I don't know if it was on the podcast or if it was personally, because we talk about this game a lot. I mentioned that for people like us that started the game in the MODOK season, you guys started just a little bit, like, I think like a week and a half after me. But like, I started in a MODOK season, and it took us probably about a year to get collection complete at the time. So that was with us spending money, right? Quite a bit of money.
For some of us.
For some of us. For some of us. Yeah. But the thing is, when say if you're totally what is it, free to play, I would actually not even double, I'd probably triple that, right? Because the money you spend, it gives you way more resources than you could obtain in a week sometimes, right? So I would even go as to say quadruple that, that time. So it'd be crazy to say that it would take you 4 years to get collection complete. But not only that, you're getting a card released every week. So if you're unlocking one card a week and one card a week is coming out, you'll never be collection complete, right? And I don't know if that's their shtick, or if that's what, because there used to be a respite week at the very beginning where it's just like, oh, okay, these are just random spotlight variants of good cards. We're not releasing anything new this week. And then you're just like, cool, I have time to use resources, save resources. But they haven't given us that in 4-5 months, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even longer. So it's a very hard system to work around, because you want people to purchase things, right? But I feel like variants are those things. People will want to purchase variants. I mean, I would want to purchase variants. So it's very, I don't know the price point on, like, if they're trying to milk everybody dry, or if they're just like, hey, we care about you. You support our game. But let's start with the Hawk Toi, So how about you, Don? How do you feel about, I know like I said, we talked about it before. How do you feel about the card acquisition?
Obviously it's slow. I mean, let's be honest, like we're at the point where we've all been playing for a very long time, right? We talked about being collection complete, but
Mm.
for the most part, like we're not, right? I
Mm.
mean, I am, but like
Not
we're
anymore.
getting close to but come next week, I might not be, right?
Yeah, right.
And because we've played and played and played, and we're having difficulty keeping up with this, right? So imagine someone who doesn't even buy the season pass or the gold pass, right? Because I think those are pretty cheap options, when
Yeah,
you're talking
worth it.
about a game. And like that's mainly what I've done through this. I've bought some stuff here and there. Don't get me wrong, but and I've been able to keep up, give or take. Granted, I've been one of the lucky SOBs you've ever met in your life, but that's a whole different thing. Um, the simple fact remains that like if someone, if people like us are having difficulty keeping up, people who are playing just casually, there's no chance, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like there are so many cards and the way that they get changed so often, which I like that things change a lot,
Mm.
but also it makes it more difficult because imagine that person who's playing that Professor X, right? They're like, I finally have something I can kind of do. I saved up, I bought Cannonball, and then next thing you know, it's just like,
Hawk Toi.
well, that's gone,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Done.
so I feel for that. I think it is going to drive people to ultimately spend. I mean, look at you guys, right? You both are saying, "Hey, like, I'm spending less money because of this,
Hmm.
right? Because I want the cards, I want to be complete, but
It's not worth it.
it's just been too much."
Yeah. I mean, what's good is that in the roadmap, it does have in concept card acquisition improvements. So I'm guessing they do see what's going on, and hopefully, uh, something's changed, because I'm hoping, and that's what I'm hoping, because I'd love to have the cards to mess with, like Makari and stuff, but I'm just like, it's not time to mess with it yet. But on top of that, they've been known to change a card like 2 weeks down the road. So if Phastos gets a buff and becomes a 2 cost, I just missed out, not getting him. And I know a lot of people have been upset about that. Just like, if you didn't release him like that and you buffed him so soon, or, X or Y card, it's kind of a slap to my face. Like, oh, I would have got it, or vice versa, right? They released Red Hulk and they nerfed him. They're like, well, it seems like my tokens were wasted, right? I mean, it's not, but I'm just saying, it's just an example.
That one kind of needed it.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Let's go
There's
cannonball.
no one who is like, that card is underpowered.
Yeah, let's go cannonball, right? People
Buff Red Hulk.
like people were like, oh man, Cannonball's not that great. I'm gonna pass. He became the shit, right? And then they're like, oh, I missed out on it. And then they ended up buying it with tokens, and now they've nerfed it and they're like, well, I don't know why I bought it with tokens. He doesn't really work in anything, almost anything, right? So it's very, very weird how this works. And I'm hoping that these card acquisition improvements not only help us, but help newer players. Because that's the biggest thing, right? We want more players in the game to support the game so that we don't have to spend as much. Because I think, honestly, I feel like if there were more players that actually, if they made price points decently, that they wouldn't have to do $100 bundles. Because they're like, oh, well, we have a player base of a couple million. And if a couple million purchase this $20 bundle instead of like a couple thousand purchasing this $100 bundle, we're making way more. Or you never know if they're just going to be greedy and just do both. So I don't know. I might just be talking shit right now. So, but I mean, that's how I hope they care about us, right? As players. So, anything else you'd like to add, Dakota, on while we're on that subject?
No, I think you guys have a lot of good points on it. That's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, just to see what everyone thought about it. So, yeah, I think y'all nailed it on the head. And I guess it just is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm on that boat with you, man. So hopefully, with the changes in concept, that we'll get something soon. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is so I've had, if you guys don't know, I've had encounters with a lot of top streamers, in my game, right? And I tell you guys all the time. I bring it up to you guys, but for our viewers out there, I do end up playing against a lot of top streamers, which is an amazing thing because I like the competition. But I came across one thing. Should I name the content creator? Nah. Okay. So we'll say a content creator. We'll call him content creator. They were upset with the timing of an emoji. So let me paint the picture because it's very confusing. All right. So we do have emojis that convey a lot of things, right? So you have that Spider-Man emoji where it's like, oh, you play the same thing as I did, right? We have the what is it? The the one that everybody doesn't like, the Miss Marvel. You played a good game, But a lot of people see it as a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it. Now, we also have the Hulk and the Thing fist bumping. To me, personally, that means good game. Or if you played in the beginning, have a good game. right? Now, whenever I do play a content creator and, I do give them the fist bump at the end. Sometimes I don't realize who I'm playing at the time, and I don't do any emojis because I know how butthurt people can get. I don't do any emojis in the very beginning. Now, when I played this content creator, good game, fist bumped him. I like to rewatch their end of things because it's very what is it? It's very few times where you get to see, oh, what was in their hand, and why did they decide to play that? Because I like to get in their thought process, because I know what I'm thinking. What were they thinking, right? So I watched it back, and he said something very weird that threw me off. He goes, oh, I've played this guy before, and he might think that he's saying good game because he fist bumped. He won, and I'm just trying to fist bump him, right? Yeah, like I've played. I think he means good game, but it comes off as cocky. I forgot the terms that he used specifically, but he's saying that the time you could emote all you want in the beginning, but when you emote at the end of the game, no matter what, it's disrespectful. So it doesn't matter what emoji you use. So and
Only
then yeah. So let me hear your thoughts on that, Don, because I talked to Dakota before, and I'll let Dakota go again. But how do you feel about that?
so it's rude if you lose a game and you do the same thing.
He said
Like,
if you lose, it shows good sport that you emote. But if you win, it shows cockiness and disrespect. This is verbatim. It's not exactly what he said. It's not verbatim. What's the other word? Like I'm summarizing what he said. I'm summarizing what his intent. And he also said, we just want to educate people. And because his chat was, in my mind, I'm just like, this is kind of like bullshit. Because it doesn't matter when you emote, it matters what you emote, is what is in my head. I didn't know there was timing for things. So go ahead, Don.
I think, I think to me, look, at the end of the game, if you're given a fist bump, I think universally, because that's been there forever. Just like just like the Spider-Man thing. It's not like everyone. I mean, obviously, everyone kind of understands the context, so they're just like, "Oh, yes," or like if you do something stupid, you do the Deadpool, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are like common things that honestly, like at the end of the game, I fist bump even if I know I'm gonna lose,
Yeah.
right? The cards haven't even gone out yet. I'll throw a fist bump out there and just be like, "Hey, good game." You know, it sounds like he's having an issue, right, and not understanding the cards. Um, it's one thing if you go out there and like you're just emoting all the time, right? Or you hitting the big brain, um the leader, right?
Yeah.
Like, ho 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 ho, or uh, it, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's a game, right? The
Yeah.
whole point is to have fun. If you're gonna get
Exactly.
mad because someone is giving you an emote in general, like, just go. Maybe you should not be playing this game, right? Maybe you need to go take a break. I don't know, get a massage. Get some sunlight because your vitamin D is apparently very low. Do something because you need to take a break. It's fine. Like people, even when they emote, I don't care,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
It's a game. And the best thing in the world, the best feeling in the world is when they chain emote you and then it's just like they lose. And then you
yeah.
just give them a little venom.
Okay, so go tell me your thoughts on this. I know you told it to me before, but please share your thoughts on this, Dakota, with our viewers.
Oh yeah, straight up. If I'm fist bumps is respect. You don't fist bump out of anger. It's like, okay, good. It's GG. It's literally in
Yeah.
your name. GG. Good game. It's over. The fact that you're upset with a fist bump makes no sense to me. If you're wanting to piss someone off, it's Cyclops. I hate that, dude. Anytime I get Cyclops, you're talking about people who gotta go outside and relax. I get pissed. I get pissed when you Cyclops. If I lost because of a dumb play and you Cyclops me, yo, fuck yourself. Like, I get so mad. I hate that.
You know what?
That makes me want to. Oh, go ahead.
I never Cyclops unless somebody Cyclops me and they lose, you know? So
Oh, yeah.
like I never like lead with Cyclops because I don't know, it's like in the bottom of my emojis, but I'm always here to try and have a good game. So
Yeah.
when I went back and heard that, it was very I was taken aback by it, right? And he said because he's like top 1,000, right? So he's a good player. But to teach your community that fist bump, when you fist bump, it seems stupid to do it after game. I'm just like, then, like, I don't know. I was like, why is it, I want to say this generation is soft as fuck, but like he seems like he's our generation. So I don't know if he's just soft as fuck.
He was just really
The
butthurt.
next time you play him, you need to give him the Magneto. Just the.
Okay, but on top of this, get this, right? This streamer plays Tanjo. Whenever I play Tanjo, I do emote in the very beginning. I emote the the Hulk, the good game, right? And that's what Tanjo does against him. Tanjo also beats him and emotes the same thing. And he goes, "Oh man, Tanjo's a good guy." I'm just like, why the fuck? I beat you too, and I was saying good game. Tanjo beat you, and he said good game, but then his is cool and mine isn't. Was it because I'm ranked lower than you and you expect to beat me? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh, I wasn't expected to lose to you, or to win against you, right? So that's why mine comes off as disrespect. I don't know.
It's not disrespectful.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
No, like
Nah,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Don.
yeah, no, it's not disrespectful at all. It's honestly, people just need to grow up and remember this is a game. We're here to have fun. Like, again, I don't even care when people give me the leader or even the Cyclops. Honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm like, oh yay, woo hoo, go enjoy. Now I'm gonna go play another game and win.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I feel like I get more mad at myself than I do get mad at another player because I'm just like, oh, I made the mistake. They didn't do anything to me. I made the mistake, Or, they were just better. They had a better hand, and I can't change that. But even when they emote, I think it's funny. I don't take any disrespect from emotes. For a little badge of honor to hurt you that bad or to feel disrespected by it, I feel, man, soft. It's like, how are you out in like real life? Like, you can't, everybody has to kiss your ass. I don't know. That's the only thing about content creators, man. They feel like everybody should worship them or something. Just 'cause, I mean, come on. I don't know. We're three regular guys. You shouldn't worship, anybody.
Except for me.
Except for Don,
Because he's collection complete.
Yeah, he's collection complete.
Yeah, you guys. At least for this week, you guys can bow down to collection complete. Next week, we'll all be back.
All right. Anything else you guys like to add on that, or shout anybody out, or say something under your breath?
Just stop Cyclops and me, please. Okay, so sick of that emote.
You know, everyone out there, when you see Bok Choy, Cyclops all game long, win, lose, draw, just do it
It makes
because
me wish that I could just type in like, "Yo, fuck you." Like I get so mad. I'm like, "Oh, you
So
bitch."
what's your Instagram so I could unfollow you? All right. Well, I want to thank everybody that is supporting our other social medias. We really appreciate you guys on TikTok, Instagram. We love responding to you guys, chatting with you guys. So most of the time, you will be hearing from Dakota, but every now and then, Don and I hop on there and we'll chat with you guys, and it's always nice to hear from you guys. Things that are coming out, we are working on a trailer right now. Hopefully, we can get that up soon. Just something to get people excited about what the show is about, and just show them who we are as as people. Anything else from you
ah,
guys? Don, anything else?
nah. I just want to thank you guys again for honestly all the work you guys are putting in. I mean, they talk a lot about how you might talk to one of us. Now you're talking to one of them. Like I wouldn't even lie. Like I I can't even get my computer to work half the time. So I'm just amazed that I'm playing this game and I'm sitting here with these guys. So uh, I really do want to thank these guys for putting in all the hard work to get us to where we're at. I think everyone who has been just kind of come along with us, the community that's kind of commenting. We love reading your comments. We love seeing all the stuff, and we really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, ditto on that one. It's like the last post that we did today with Phastos. That was so awesome to see everyone's hopping on, telling each other like, "This is what I'm working on. This is an idea I have." That's literally the goal. We want the community here, and it is so exciting to see you guys are just awesome. So it's fun to meet you people out there that love Marvel Snap as much as we do and are just so fun to talk to. Like it really it is enjoyable to get a DM. I'm like, oh shoot, what's going on? Like I get like, oh, I made it into the 3000s, and I'm like, my man, like get it, dude, you're doing it. So it's always so awesome, and yeah, it's truly just super fun to just hang out with these guys and do this. So thank you guys for just supporting us on YouTube and all the other stuff. Like, yeah, you guys rock. It's really a fun time. So
All right. So until next time, guys, we will catch you on the next episode of Cubed, the Marvel Snap podcast. Have a good night.
we
Peace.
just say bye bye.